Hey guys, CreamCrazy here. Welcome to the third part of Wrestling Rant Week. Yeah, I'm doing this one a bit earlier than the others because I can. I've got free time on my hands. Mostly because I think this one will take the least amount of time. Anyway, welcome to Wrestling Rant 61. On just discussing whether Damien Sandow is the most compelling character in the WWE today. Now, I will say this now before anyone rips on me for this video, because these points may seem very trivial, but to me they are very interesting. You see, Sandow has actually made a name for himself pretty quickly. He was rebranded from Idol Stevens, obviously. He needs to make himself a lot bigger after being in that shit gimmick for a couple of years. He's gone to the Indies, gone to FCW, had a new character, and to be honest with you, he's now become a guy who a lot of people, including myself, just can't keep our eyes off. That's the nature of compelling. The word meaning great interest, meaning of great interest. And you see, that is something I'm trying to dig into. Why is Sandow interesting? Why is Sandow hated by so many people? And that's the thing. Even Smarks, I've found, hate the guy. Not because some people might think it's a savage ripoff, or he's just a narcissistic douchebag. The fact is, a lot of the times you hear people in the IWC hate people because they have legitimate personal beef with them for something they've done in the wrestling business. Vince Hogan, Triple H, the like, even just hating them blindly because they have no real reason to. John Cena! This guy, I have seen people legitimately spout hatred because he's a guy you can easily hate, but I like him what I see. Nonetheless, here are the 3 reasons why I think, yes, he is a very compelling, the most compelling character. And honestly, I will say this, you may find my opinions to be very shallow, very small. Then again, he hasn't been on WWE TV very long wrestling. The character has not been on TV long, and to see that he hasn't been on that long getting my interest, that's something. Anyway, first point in the yes column. And I noticed there are also 3 yeses, so I technically done a Daniel Bryan quote in the first technical notion of this video. 1. His appearance is striking, setting him apart from the rest and generating interest. Because most WWE wrestlers, whether it be a gimmick, appearance in general, or just anything they do, are very similar with each other. And that's very, very boring, don't you admit? You see, one thing that immediately sets Sandow apart from everybody else is epic heel beard win. Now, you don't know what I mean by epic heel beard win. Basically, facial hair is the immediate notion of heel. Because if you haven't got it, unless you're CM Punk or Daniel Bryan, you can get away with, you can't have face beard. There's no such thing as face beard, unless you're Hillbilly Jim, in which case I'd step as far away from that as possible. Or even Stone Cold Steve Austin's goatee. But you know what I'm saying. The beard is voluptuous. It is massive. And, to be honest, it catches your eye immediately. You think, the fuck? That's a ponage beard right there. Anyone who can comment on Sandow will automatically say, okay, the guy may not be the best wrestler in the world, but that beard is awesome. Immediately picks him out from the rest. Second part of that, he is unusually coloured ring attire. Okay, a lot of people might ridicule him for that. It's pink and yellow tights with the yellow knee pads. Then again, some people would say, fuck, this guy's got balls. Honestly, he's got balls. Because you do not wear pink and yellow ring attire to the ring unless 1, you're a Randy Savage ripoff, or 2, you really think you can get a crowd to really, really get under your skin. That's the thing, because there's no other way. You're going to want to literally point and say you suck, or want to foul every hatred on him, than having such a weirdly coloured attire, because every other attire is either blue, black, red. One of those 3, often. Okay, occasional green maybe. But in all fairness, most wrestling, unless you're Cena or early Miz, you've had the jeans or something. It's very different. And because it's different, it makes you go, ooh, who the fuck's this guy? And that's very interesting, isn't it? There's also one other thing. He's the first guy in a while to come out wearing something that looks like a robe. Ric Flair made them famous. Damien Sandow does like a boxing tradition in a way, where you have a robe on yourself and you have a... Okay, Cody Rhodes has a jacket, but that's not really a robe, is it? This is the kind of thing where he kind of makes himself feel bigger. And because of that, he kind of, again, he just sets himself apart from everybody, because not just that, his physical appearance. He's tall, lean, and muscular. Usually you'd find a wrestler with one of those attributes, not all three combined together. He's not the cookie-cuttered muscle freak, or the midget cruiserweight, or the light heavyweight who's slightly tubby, slightly toned muscular, and is weighing around 190 to 210 pounds. He's not that. And because he's all the in appearance combined together, you kind of think, wow, they've actually put all the stuff together and made someone who looks appealing to some people. Or, in the case of a lot of people, makes you want to hate him a bit because he looks a bit unlike everybody. And to be honest, people love thinking, if he doesn't look like me or the average Joe, he's a douchebag and I want to rip on him some more. That's compelling. Come on. Number 2. While his mannerisms and mic work are very eloquent and regal, his wrestling style is the polar opposite, making him unique and inside and outside the ring. Plus, his attacks are fucking unpredictable, so it adds to the mystique around the character. Now, his mannerisms and mic work are very highbrow, talking with high quality jargon and lexis that a lot of simple-minded Americans just won't understand. He's also very, very smug as well. And that's immediately eye-catching to me, because one, it hasn't been done in a while, and second, it's an automatic heat magnet. Because people do not want to be talked down to by a guy who thinks, in terms of his own language, his own appearance, and his own opinions, that he's better than everybody. Now, you can obviously be a guy in the ring like The Miz or JBL and just talk down to people like they're stupid and say you're the best, and do it in the most patronising way possible and in the most jerky way possible. Sandow does it with class. And to be honest, seeing a heel do it without having to be a bit of a knob about it, that's interesting. Because honestly, I haven't seen many heels who... Okay, I classified Daniel Bryan last year, when he turned heel after winning the world title, as a smart heel. Because he was going to be the guy who wouldn't just cower away. Okay, he turned into that once the feud with Sheamus came about. Sandow, to me, is the definition of a smart heel, like Matt Striker used to be. He's using intelligence to slam almost everything you can possibly see. And, to be honest, the unwashed saviour of the masses thing? Honestly, who the hell has done that before? Sure, you can have Jericho saying he's going to save us all from the WWE or whatever other crap, but dude, Sandow at least says he's going to save us from the shit of the world, and I mean it, everything, because again, he's highbrow, he's everything we're not, because therefore we can say, oh, you don't even know what this stuff is, you uptight wanker. We want to hate the guy, because that's an incompelling interest, because he's not like every other heel in mannerisms. Wrestling style, usually a wrestler is the same in outer ring style with mic work as he is in the ring. The Miz, a bit scruffy, in your face, and not the flashiest in-ring worker in the world. Sandow, on the other hand, when he's attacked Clay, attacked Sin Cara, attacked anyone, he just goes in there with rabid aggression. And that's very peculiar, because usually you see a heel just go on a guy, stomp him, stare at them down, and then just parade like they've just done the greatest thing in the world. Sandow just doesn't stop kicking someone's ass. I mean, I've never seen someone kick Brodus Clay's ass with such fortitude and compassion since, well, Big Show whacked him a few times in the face and both signed him through table, chair, and just about everything else in between. And that's brilliant. Because for a guy like that, especially for a guy who is not a massive heavyweight, that's impressive. And it's really interesting whenever he attacks someone. Because you can tell he's pissed off whenever he speaks. He hates people just thinking he's some uptight wanker. But the fact is, that's interesting too. Because he's attacking in a way that you wouldn't expect. You think a guy with such eloquence and regality to him would be restrained. You'd expect that for, okay, a guy like Regal had those kind of attributes, where he was very, very uptight, very, very poncy about things. And then he went in the ring and he was complete like that. But over time, Regal did become a little bit softer. That still didn't stop him whooping ass. Sandow's kind of adopted that kind of trait. And it's made him different from every fucking person. Because I don't see a lot of heels be that aggressive and in the ring. And that's very... Unless you're a super heavyweight, in which case you have to be. Like Tensai, or even a face like Ryback if he was heel. That kind of thing. Sandow has that ability, and I love it. 3. His theme music is different from the rest of the roster because it's a classical piece, and it's not electrified like Bryan's, making you know it's him. And that's another way of just simplifying and making his character different, because everyone else has an electric band theme with lyrics in it. But then you get... Okay, also, don't forget that, of course, Alberto Del Rio has a typical mariachi theme. But to see a guy who has a gimmick where he believes he's higher and bigger than everyone else, to cap it off with a massive crescendo of classical music that kind of noted the hallelujahs. I don't remember the name of the song, even though I recognise it, because I'm not a classical music fanboy, is the fact that it automatically screams that he believes he's higher than everybody, and that makes you immediately think, I want to boo the shit out of this fucker. And to be honest, classical music as a theme song hasn't been done very well in the WWE recent times. Okay, when Daniel Bryan had Flight of the Valkyries, we hated on him for it. The minute it got electrified, we were okay with it, because we of course knew Daniel Bryan as a serious competitor, and it apparently made him look like a joke. That doesn't to me seem right at all. The fact is though, Sandow with his, it works. 100%. And to hear a piece of classical music echo out, instead of the usual stuff for theme musics, that makes me happy. Because you don't see it. It's unique. It makes you go, that's no one else. Because sometimes with some theme musics are so similar, I keep thinking it's one person or the other. It's weird and stupid, I know, but it happens when you have no diversity. And to have this kind of diversity, especially for a guy whose character is so different, you think, yeah, they've done the right thing here. And for Sandow to have that kind of theme music is great. Come on, admit it now. Because you want to boo the crap out of the guy when you hear that kind of music. Because I'm not a classical music fan, but I still like Sandow nonetheless. And now here, guys, is the no factor. What doesn't make him compelling? Because to be of great interest, to be of any interest at all for that matter, means you have to be good on almost every level. Especially in the IWC's books, you got to be something. You got to be something. And, okay, these might seem little, but I do want to point them out. Speaking of his attire, though, first point, his pink tights and yellow knee pads making the subject of ridicule within the ring, therefore meaning a claim will go far by. Because, like I said, the crowd will go against you if someone's wearing such outlandish attire. The fact is, okay, how we managed to take Randy Savage seriously, I have no fucking clue. With that kind of attire, because he talked ridiculously all over the place. He didn't make any sense, and yet we loved him with that attire anyway. See, to me, I'm trying to wonder, is it because Sandow's career is very young, and because he has a very serious tone of mic work, a very intense appearance, that when we see that, we kind of think, I throw a sense of disbelief out of the window. There's no way I can follow this guy and take him seriously. Because it's true. Even I, at the time, beginning to understand who the hell is this guy called Damien Sandow, even I had problems with this. Because, honestly, I've said it before, like Eddie Guerrero's hair, the appearance of a wrestler, just in terms of what he's wearing and what he looks like, can make the difference between a failed and successful gimmick. And honestly, everything up until he gets in the ring, Sandow looks brilliant for the gimmick he's got and is different to most people. You then look at that and you think, how can I take what he does seriously? How can I look at Sandow, a decent gimmick, a brilliant gimmick, a decent in-ring worker, and then look at him with that shit on and say, I respect and like the guy, because again, I'm trying to keep back the laughter, because that's what you guys are thinking. That's what you guys think. You would say the exact same. Number 2. He hasn't wrestled many complete matches that haven't been glorified attacks so far in his career as Sandow, making his overall appeal limited. Because if you're like me and you like watching the actual in-ring content, then what Sandow has done has not been very impressive, because he's just attacked people. He's been in a couple of tag matches now with Cody Rhodes against Sin Cara and Brodus Clay. He's trying to get involved with all that. He still hasn't had many proper matches. Either haven't been squashed matches, glorified beatdowns of Clay, and so forth. He hasn't really done much to really say he's a great in-ring worker behind the gimmick, outside the ring. And for a lot of people, it's the wrestling that sets you apart from everyone else. And that's the thing. For me, it is that. It's not usually that a gimmick is better than what I know from in-ring content. Usually I like seeing in-ring content before liking the gimmick, before liking the wrestler. That's usually how I roll, people. But for some reason it hasn't worked that way with a guy like him, with a guy like Sandow. I don't know why, but I even have to claim that I can't really be fully behind Sandow until I see more of him, because I like the gimmick, I like his appearance, I like everything his gimmick stands for. I just don't like the fact that I haven't seen much of him in the ring. And that goes on to my number 3 point, because yeah, his overall appeal is limited. Because while he is a mid-card wrestler who stands out, and to be honest should be somewhere, there are others in the way. There are others in front of him. Some have failed. Some have not. Some have been pushed too early. I'm naming 4 of them: Ryback, Cesaro, Clay, and Tensai. Tensai fucked up majorly. He was supposed to be this next big thing, but he never turned out to be that way. No, not at all. Cesaro got pushed way too early for his own good, before his gimmick could fully develop. Ryback is just a glorified jobber squashing machine. Same with Clay, but he just dances in the ring with kids at the end of his matches. You see, the fact is, if Sandow just came along, beat up main eventers and was the character that he is, we'd all give a shit. We would all have him as the most compelling character. But honestly, you think about it, many guys are in front of him. The one enduring memory of Sandow is him being pedigreed by DX at the opening of the 1000th Raw. That's the one thing we remember him for, because a lot of people don't think he's done much else. It's because of these other people he doesn't have the chance to showcase it. You see, I would rather have Sandow holding the US title, because he's actually got a character that's developed somewhat and has some body to it. I would rather see Sandow go somewhere than Tensai, because Tensai fell flat. Clay, enough said. Ryback, again, he hasn't got direct competition and people who can at least beat him to make him look legitimate. So Sandow to me is better than all of them, despite Cesaro being a bloody good wrestler, and I know that for sure. That's my point. Sandow is a compelling character, he just needs the ability and timing and placing to make it happen, but with those kind of guys in front of him, he isn't, and the fans aren't going to connect with him if that is the case. And guys, at 18 minutes, I'm going to end here. See, again, I thought these points were pretty shallow, but again, a guy hasn't been around very long, very hard to pick him apart like that. And guys, that's the end of Wrestling Rant 61, the 3rd part of this week's videos. Again, there's going to be a couple more this week. Subscribe up there if you haven't already. I again appreciate your support. Down in the comment section, your views on Sandow and the points I've raised. Again, liking my Facebook page, adding me on Skype, CreamCrazyWR, if you know you want to. Bookmark my blog, just in case anyone... Okay, Largest85 said to me, how do I bookmark your blog? Quite simple, really. Just basically, but I mean, because it's known as bookmarks on Macs, on Safari. You press the little plus button next to the tab button on Safari, that bookmarks it onto your bookmarks list, or your bookmarks bar, whichever one it is, and that's that. All you need to do for you PC users is literally press add to favorites. And that's all you need to do. And please, guys, do it, because, again, I keep saying it, when I go to uni, it's the only thing you're really going to see from me. So please, favourite that page in your browser, please. Because, again, it'll be the only way you'll get hold of me after I go to uni. Enough said. Anyway, the next video that I'm going to be doing tomorrow is a music-themed video which I was going to do sometime earlier on in the year. The top 5 bands or artists who have benefited from WWE the most. And I'm a music guy. It's pretty fucking obvious I would do something like this. Then again, would there be any other better time to do a video like this? No! I'm going to do this video now, well not now, but tomorrow, because it's a Thursday and it's just a good day. Because music can rule my life any time. A video on it is even better. So yeah, guys, top 5 bands or artists who have benefited from WWE. Simple. That should be a very easy video to get out of the way tomorrow. I should be able to get that done very quickly. Anyway, I'll sign off here, guys. I've been Cream Crazy. You've been people watching. This has been Wrestling Rant 61 on whether Damien Sandow is the most compelling character in the WWE. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.